YouTube, Ronin Kazi. Not great, but it's better than nothing to start today. If you previously watched the channel, my master, I'm a Jedi, my master is getting controlled somehow. She has an illness caused by, we think it's a Sith. And I'm looking for these omnicrons. And these omnicrons hold secrets. And so the first omnicron I found, they couldn't help me. And what's in the omnicron are Jedi masters, and I guess their spirits are put in there, or their intellect. And I guess it's electronically somehow. It's a little cube. And somehow they're in there. And everyone's really interested in find out what's in those omnicrons. I mean, I'm in the Rebel Alliance city, right? This is where their government is. The Rebel Alliance. And these secrets are Jedi secrets. And I'm trying to find the secrets, but I'm being met with criminals and governments and everyone else that won't unlock these secrets. When I first started playing Star Wars The Old Republic on the channel, or on the second go-around once I've restarted the channel, I had bought like 90 days or 60 days worth of subscriber time, and now I'm not on subscriber time. Now I'm on like the free pay model. In Star Wars The Old Republic, you don't get to change skills. You get your main skill. I think you still get to choose what your starting skill is going to be. So like I'm a Jedi Sentinel. Normally that's a dual bladed, not dual wielded. It's a dual bladed lightsaber. Kind of like Darth Maul if you've seen the Star Wars stuff. And so what I took instead was the Sith Marauder, which is, and then I have like a tank build where I can leap into people, I can force choke them, I can stomp them. So I'm playing a Jedi story, but with the Sith attributes, or the Sith skills. In a lot of games, I try to do that. I mean, it's pretty easy to just say, what if I did something, what if I mix it up this way? And you don't have to get super complicated about it. You could just think about it just in quadrants, in 4 areas, like it's a piece of pie. You're going to cut the pie or the pizza or whatever your analogy is into 4. And so you can do what's always done, right? What's expected of me and what I'm trying to accomplish. Maybe what I'm trying to accomplish is something different, right? Maybe I want to do it a different way, still accomplish the same things. Maybe I don't want to accomplish any of it, and maybe I don't want to do what I'm told. And obviously, life's a lot different. It's not so black and white. It's not even so quadrant-y. It's many different shades of that. And when you're younger, so hopefully I have some people that are young that watch this is a time that you're exploring and you're figuring out what's your way in life. And at this point, I have kids, and there was a time where they stopped doing what their mom and I told them to do, and they started finding out their own way, and that's what they do now. And that's an adjustment for everyone. So for you that are younger, that are starting off your journeys, I get it. If you're on the other side of that, if you're a parent and you have kids, you got to give them room to grow. There's all kinds of euphemisms for what young people are supposed to do and that they're going to do it, and you got to give them room to do it. And it's a learning for both sides, right? You've got to, your goals are different. And from a parent's perspective, it's always been about you. So your whole life, say 1 to 7, you're kind of a kid, but once you get 7 years old and you start going to school, you have this whole other life that's starting to grow. You have a whole little seed of you that's growing. You're going to be your persona. And that grows and grows and grows. They used to say, you know, when someone got 12 or 13, and I think it's before then even. So you go on your life. You don't want to do what your parents said. You're with your friends, and your friends say to do this, and you love your parents, but, you know, how do I know that they, you know, I'm looking at everything they do, and there's a lot of hypocrisy in what they do, so I'm not going to follow them, and I go on my life, and I do this, and then I go to school, or I learn a trade, or I join the military, or I do something, and I'm always comparing, contrasting, am I where I want to be, am I going to my goals and all that. And let's say eventually you find someone, you're lucky enough to find someone that likes you, male or female. If you're male or female watching this, whatever's your cup of tea, you find someone, God bless you, that, or whatever, universe, drop someone in front of you that likes you to play video games and watch video game YouTube, and you have a family, you start your own family. Now, you're not changing the movie in your head. It's still your movie. Even with your significant other, you're always selfishly looking at the world through your eyes. And part of the beauty of relationships is you start to see it from your other person's eyes. And when you're hurt, you go back just to yours, and you're eventually trying to learn how to make that. Imagine what's going on for that kid. Kid 1 to 7, your movie, if you're the patriarch of the family, if you're the leader of the family, it's really your kind of vision for the family. It's kind of where you're forcing the family to go. But for that young child, they're starting their movie. And there comes a certain point where it's their movie. They don't care about your movie anymore. In their movie, you're fading in the background, like your parents have faded into the background, and their story coming on one. And now you're a role model. You're a supporting actor and actress in their life. But secrets, YouTube. So that's what's happening with this character. So if you take the Jedi path that I'm in, the story I'm going, my master, right? I was a Padawan. I did some great stuff on my starter area. And then so now they're like, you can go out on your own. And I'm still kind of identifying or making an identity for myself. They realize I'm powerful, but there's all these secrets, YouTube, secrets. And so I inadvertently talked about George Lucas and Joseph Campbell. Joseph Campbell was a mentor of his, but he had an interview with Bill Moyer. And really, so the Star Wars has this kind of hero's arc story. And, you know, you look at Rogue One, that was a great Star Wars vehicle. Mandalorian's a great vehicle. There's a lot of great writing and all this stuff. But that's what Star Wars, the Old Republic is, right? And Knights of the Old Republic, those are good stories. So those are games you can play. You can have some fun and do it. And in Star Wars Old Republic, when you're on free to play, you have less choices. So what can I recommend? If you like the game, you buy like a month. Don't do it recurring. Just buy like a month or buy 2 months. Buy 1 month. It's $15. And you get some benefits for doing that. But then you can fully explore the characters. But at the end of the day, there's 8 stories, 50 levels each story, let's say, that you get to see. So there's a lot of content here. And then if you want to keep doing it, that's another thing, right? That's up to you. But it's a good game for the story, and you might revisit it. And there might be like a November sometime where you got a little spare time, and you might say, hey, I'm going to fire up Star Wars The Old Republic and make an alt and have a character do this stuff. And a lot of these games, the modern MMORPG game makes it easy for you to play the game. World of Warcraft still doesn't. I don't know why you can't fly in World of Warcraft. Like, it's just the stupidest thing. Let me buy it then. Nope, YouTube. I'm going to subject you to the early or late 90s aesthetic of where we're going to make you suffer and everything. Quick update on my Linux. YouTube. Best situation, Windows 10, overwrite it completely. You have all that space. On the Legion I have, it has 1 terabyte. I told you my partitioning strategy always is like 2 to 200 gigabytes on your C drive for Windows, and then, you know, you might make 2 drives of data that you can put on there. I shrunk some partitions, and I made enough room for my catchy OS that I finally got working. YouTube, so mad with myself. And I was loading like a person that hasn't had water and comes to a trough of water. I was just, oh, I can load Guild Wars as a non-Steam game. Bam. I can load Ghost Recon. Breakpoint did it as a non-Steam game, and it worked right off the bat, and I have video of it, and I played it, and it was just awesome, YouTube. And then I said to myself, where are these games being stored? I told Steam, store everything on the SDHC card. That's an order, Steam. It's my movie. Steam said, I'm storing them right in your Linux directory. So, YouTube, I have a 200 gigabyte Linux main area. I have a Windows main area, and I have I had a 500 like data place, and then I have a 1 terabyte. So I got all this storage. When I install the non-Steam games on the system, and then store them on the home directory, on the root directory, on my home. So my hard drive ran out of space. And YouTube, not always, the computer system doesn't really operate great when it's out of space. It's kind of like being out of gas. It's like the reverse of being out of gas, right? Once you're out of gas, like you're done. So I go to reboot my system. I get this circle of death. And I go, so this morning I woke up, put in USB thumb drive, and attempted to recover what I was doing. And it was a mess, YouTube. Couldn't do it. I knew what to do, but I didn't do it in the right order. I finally got it back to the place, so I'm loading games back up on it again, and it's working fine. And right, so now I'm an expert at it. But one of the things I'm going to try to do is Steam is how it handles external drives isn't really great, so you could have problems. So I'm trying to be real careful, and I'm going to try to become an expert on how to fix those kind of things. There's a lot of videos that it gives you a long chain of things to do, and they've never worked. So I've just deleted those drives, and I'm starting off fresh on that system there. So I'm going to find out the secret in the finally, it's revealed. The secret is revealed. And what I want to tell you, like, subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, buy me a cup of coffee or energy drink. I'd appreciate it. But what I didn't show you is that cube was inside some guy because they had him smuggling it. Like, that's a cube. Where did it fit in him, YouTube? So that's kind of what the cover artwork was. And I'm talking to the secret people now. They're giving me a secret. Guess what, YouTube? Do you think they're going to give me the secret? Or have I been misled that my secret, my other cheap monitor, have I been tricked into believing that if I got that secret? No, I got one more. So it's funny. Sometimes we want the answers. We don't get them when we want them, and they're not the ones we get. I'm going to submit this question to you. Very rarely are you allowed to be prosecutor, jury, and judge. I'd like to say you can only pick one of those, i.e. you can be the jury You can be the judge or you can be the prosecuting attorney. You can't be all three. What do I mean by that? Prosecuting attorney, you bring all the evidence and then you just put it to the jury. You can be the jury to decide, yep, if it's right or wrong, and then you're the judge. Here's what the sentence is. I know the jury said this, but I'm going to do this. So I want you to consider that. If you're doing two of those, or God forbid, all three of those, then you might want to re-examine that. Ronan Kazi, have a good one. We'll talk about that later. Out, YouTube.